camouflage. Who are you?
Where is my friend?
What are you talking about? Oh, what next?
Snake.
You're that ninja.
I've been waiting for you, Snake.
Who are you?
Neither enemy nor friend. I am back from a world where such words are meaningless. I've removed all obstacles. Now you and I will battle to the death.
What do you want?
I've waited a long time for this day. Now I want to enjoy the moment.
What's with these guys? It's like one of my Japanese animes.
I've come from another world to do battle with you.
What is it, revenge?
It is nothing so trivial as revenge. A fight to the death with you. Only in that can my soul find respite. I will kill you, or you will kill me. It makes no difference. Fine. He can watch from inside there.
I need that man. Keep your hands off him.
That was weird getting the start going.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm kind of wondering, like, should we try to keep the pro wrestling narrative thread going through? Because we were talking about Roman Reigns so much. And, like,
Yeah.
you know,
We probably should. I mean, we will alienate pretty much everyone who doesn't watch pro wrestling, though. So
do we really want those people in our lives?
yeah, that's true.
You
Yeah.
know? I mean, yeah, it's well, we do obviously.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this and you're not a pro wrestling fan, don't worry. It's only the first 2 seconds of the joke,
Yeah.
and like a glossary of terms that we really should explain.
Yeah.
Like in the last episode, the last American version, I believe I described Gary as jobbing out, and then the hooker cuts a promo on him,
Yeah.
which would read as gibberish to anyone who's not in the know.
Yeah, we should. Jobbing out means losing and losing quickly.
Yes.
And cutting a promo just means throwing abuse at them.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's
like-
we will at some point, if you follow us on if you follow our Facebook page,
We'll put up a glossary of terms.
yeah, which I think you may need at some point.
It's kind of weird. Like, I'm wearing an old CM Punk T-shirt now, and it's weird. I'm sure some people look at it and kind of go, "Oh, there's a straight edge guy." Really, what they should be looking at goes, "Look at that fucking mark. He's wearing a T-shirt that's 10 years old."
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, but,
and if last weekend's shenanigans are anything to go by, you're not straight edge.
oh fuck no! If I ever held a card,
Yeah.
it has gone up in the flames of.
Oh yeah, it got burnt like the draft card in the '60s.
You know, it's yeah, it was. You know, fucking drink what he wants.
Yeah.
But,
Clack clack, stop me.
we're back again for another conversation about the canon of films. And this is going to be a really special episode because the daddy of canon films. Well, there's 2 daddies of canon films. There's Golan-Globus, but more importantly, there's Menahem Golan.
Yeah.
And Menahem seemed to be the driving force behind canon films for the length of time it was available. You know, Yoram was a businessman.
Yeah.
He was like the guy who made Canon into one of the most financially successful film companies there was, up to a point. But Menahem was the guy who loved the movies.
Yeah.
And was just in love with movies.
Yeah, Yoram was the money, Menahem was the creative force.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to put it.
Menahem,
he had a sort of manic love of movies.
Yeah.
You know, and he loved movies the way like a small yappy dog loves a ball that you're about to throw at him.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. Once he's got the ball, he doesn't really know what he wants to do with
it.
But he wants the ball.
He wants the ball in a huge way.
You know, it's Menahem, like, he just comes across as an absolute fucking character. Like,
yeah, he comes across as a maniac, to be honest.
Like, I love guys like that. I love reading stories about people who just did what they wanted to do, and if you didn't like it, well, fucking tough shit.
Yeah.
And
you got to admire that, and you know, whether you love him or hate him, you kind of have to admire that.
Yeah, and this movie is a fine example of Menachem's like roller coaster madness vision for movies. It's, I mean, we'll get into the actual meat of the film in a bit, but like, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm thinking some strong stimulants were involved in the making of this movie.
The history of it. I mean, we'll get into the history at the beginning, but like, trust me, you're going to want to stay tuned for this because it's crazy.
You know more about the history than I do, so
yeah. No, the history comes in where the history comes into it is with Franco Nero, who's our star. Now, did you know much about Franco before we got into
I
this?
knew he was the original Django, and before I watched this movie, I watched Kioma.
I recommended that to you.
Yeah, and it was like, you know, apocalyptic cowboy Jesus, and nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that in a movie whatsoever.
Like, Franco Nero is a bit of an icon in Italy. I mean, starred in the original Django. Actually, it was featured in the remake, or whatever it was, Quentin Tarantino put out.
The reimagining.
Yeah, the ruining. Yeah, fuck. I just don't like that movie.
All right, fair enough.
You know, look, Tarantino made some great movies. As far as I'm concerned, Django wasn't one of them.
That's fair.
But,
That's fair.
I mean, come on, man. Make another movie like Jackie Brown. That was fucking rad.
That was the only bomb he made, so he'll never make another one like that, I'm afraid.
It's 10 times better than Django.
Oh, yeah, but
you know?
that's probably his best movie, but, you know, that's a different story.
I suppose
for a
it's like
different
the
time.
Ed Wood scenario with Tim Burton. Like, you know, he can... You know, Ed Wood wasn't a major financial success, but it's his best film.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas, like, if he makes just another one of these fucking, you know, Snow Globe goth movies, like,
Yeah,
the whole world
Alice in
falls...
Wonderland or whatever.
Yeah, the whole world falls over themselves to fucking watch it, like, you know. Although, I think Dark Shadows was a failure, but... At the box office it was, anyway.
Well, it turned a small profit, but nowhere near as much as they were expecting.
Yeah.
So
I guess you can only put Johnny Depp in pale makeup so many times and get a return. But
and he's not the only one to do it these days.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No, like back in the day, Franco Nero was the kind of guy who was reliable because like he'd be in one badass movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember people's attitude towards films back then, but like it was, oh, Chuck Norris is in this, it must be good.
Yeah.
Like, people just associate, if you made one good action movie, every action film you made was... Yeah. And I was saying, like, it was like, oh, shit, Dudikoff? Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that was just the easy way it was, like,
yeah,
you know?
pretty much.
And, so, he was a safe bet when they got him, although the circumstances to which we've secured to this film were kind of crazy. But, at Ninjas, alright, this was the beginning of Ninja Mania in 80s cinema. Like.
And, you know, it became a massive trope of 80s movies.
Yeah.
Like, you know, ninjas to 80s action movies were what cyborgs were to 90s action movies.
Exactly.
They were just all over the place. They were omnipresent. And it kind of played off the yellow scare fear at the time. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is with the Ninja movie, it's kind of weird. This was the first big one. Whereas, like, Octagon came before it.
Yeah.
The Chuck Norris vehicle. Not a Canon film, so we won't be discussing it. But, it's... Like, Octagon came before it, but Enter the Ninja, like, was a major hit. And because of that, then, like, it's easy to do because all you gotta do is get a bunch of karate guys and put them in ninja gear and you can make a movie. Like.
Yeah.
And, the thing is, well, ninjas are fucking cool.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? And they're always going to be cool.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was just like this kind of... Like, a lot of people say that this introduced the Western world to the very concept of a ninja.
Yeah.
You
and,
know?
you know, the stealthy assassin thing, it had been done in Western films before.
I know, but like,
it was always some guy in a polo neck, you know, with the sniper rifle from ages away. And it was... Yeah, the ninja thing in Japan, at least, it was, you know, it's part of the culture. You know, Sonny Chiba and people like that were made God knows how many ninja movies.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And it's still a huge thing over there.
But it's still a huge thing everywhere.
Yeah, true.
Know? But, no, like, with this, like, this was like, here you go, here's... I'm sure there was some kind of weird kind of 80s logic where they're going, yeah, we need a white ninja though, because you know
that's the bit I don't quite understand, because
you're supposed to be in the shadows while you're wearing a white gi.
Yeah,
it looked fucking rad. That's why.
It looked rad, but but like having a white ninja made no sense to me, because you know Bruce Lee had already been a breakout star at this point. You know, you could have an Asian action star.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was just like. I think the whole point of the story though was to have a foreigner be a ninja.
Yeah.
And I think this movie was written by a stuntman who was the main stuntman in this movie. And I think it was like a vanity project for him, because I think he studied ninjutsu or whatever. I was there going, yeah, I bet if I got into a fight with everyone in the Philippines, I'd win. Because I'm a ninja, you know. And I think it's a vanity project that didn't work out for this guy.
Yeah, clearly.
But anyway, like, what were your expectations going into this one?
My expectations going into this, you know, I'm a Sonny Chiba fan, and I love Sonny Chiba with a passion that burns like 1,000 suns. But so I was expecting something along those lines, and in terms of the action, it wasn't a million miles away.
Yes.
You know, from what I was expecting.
Yeah.
It was. I went in hoping for a good bit of chopsocky and one or two ridiculous death scenes.
Yeah, and a few. Like, the thing is, we almost got to patent this shit, right?
Yeah.
Canon craziness.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's this thing with Canon movies where there's these rogue elements that fall in. Like, you know you're watching one.
Yeah.
And there's one or two in here. But it's just like, just these fucking things that just drop in. I love watching, like, asylum films and stuff. And I always used to... I'd watch, like, Transmorphers, and I just want one moment from it. I'm like, can something just make me laugh?
Yeah.
And, like, Canon's got the same thing, but better. You know what I mean? Like, Canon... Like, some people might unfavorably kind of compare Canon to the Asylum or sort of... But Canon films were, like... Canon were way ahead of any of those studios.
Absolutely.
I mean, the thing is, Canon were an independent film studio, like, you know, and we're a powerhouse.
True.
At one point, like, you know.
They were like the Weinstein Company of their day.
Yeah, but instead of, like, making indie movies, they made ninja movies.
Yeah.
And,
actually, I'd love to see a Weinstein ninja movie, but
yeah.
that's a different
Kill
story.
Bill.
Kinda.
Miramax Weinstein produced.
That's true. That is true.
But and I'm sure Dimension have put out something.
I'm sure they have.
Yeah, myself, I was kind of I was expecting this movie to maybe be a little bit more transgressive than it turned out to be. Like, I was there going, right, it's Menahem Golan fucking unchained in the Philippines.
Yeah.
We're going to have some kind of just, like, madness, like, you know, like, be it sexual craziness on screen or, like, just, you know, complete ridiculousness. But I actually, you know, I'm not sure if that kind of was a little bit more restrained, I believe.
Yeah,
but
it was more restrained than and we had any right to expect.
I also, though, when I was watching it, I was thinking, here's a movie that I'm pretty sure I'm going to look at and in my head go, if I'd have seen this when I was 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, if I saw this as an impressionable child, I probably would have killed someone with the Death Star by
it's just like
a throwing star. I meant to say, not a
like
Death Star.
The thing is, yeah. Well, we'll get into it. It's fucking, it's a happening.
It's a happening.
Anyway, with that awkward aside, I think it's probably time for us to get into, or sure, maybe it's time for us to let the ninja enter.
The first martial art to sweep the modern world was jiu-jitsu, closely followed by the discipline of karate. Then we were taught to combine the spiritual with the physical by the masters of kung fu. And now, the Canon Group is proud to introduce the practitioner of the oldest and ultimate martial art, the ninja. Enter the ninja.
This scroll is your license as a master of ninjutsu.
Starring Franco Nero. Exploding into action as Cole, the White Ninja.
Give him a message for me.
Yeah?
I don't like to be followed. I love it here. It's become my home. And nobody is going to drive us away.
Susan George is the proud and beautiful Mary Ann, a strong-willed woman who knows what she wants and just how to get it. And introducing Sho Kosugi.
Kampai! Kampai! Kampai.
Hasegawa, the black ninja, born of samurai blood, is unable to accept anything but the ancient ways.
You did not drink, Hasegawa. He is no ninja.
It's the land code. They want to take it away from us.
Bitter and merciless, this rogue ninja will stop at nothing to destroy any and all who cross his path. Ninja. Hired assassins, trained killers, masters of the most deadly art known to man. If you take on a ninja, no matter how many you are, be prepared for the consequences. Enter the Ninja from Canon.
Oh, okay, and we're back. This is, of course, and I think we kind of lost a run of ourselves in our branding in the last two episodes.
Yeah.
Mainly because we hadn't done one in a while, and I was fucking hungover for one of them. Yeah, I mean, this isn't a review that we're doing. As we've stated plenty of times before, we don't really review these movies. We discuss them. This is a conversation about Canon movies. And I think I said to you, like, the ultimate description of this show would be, it's like you've run into the two of us in a pub on a Friday night after we've just watched a Canon VHS.
Yeah.
I know you're going to have to sit here and listen to the two of us describe it all.
And interjecting will do just as much good as in that situation.
Oh, yeah. I even remember going out for your girlfriend's birthday.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, we were just sat there going, man, Breaking is fucking dope.
Yeah.
And everyone's just there going, what?
Yeah, we just watched it like 2 or 3 days prior. And, Oh, Lucinda Dickey. But that's neither here nor there. Enough of my obsession with Lucinda Dickey's back meat.
Well, look, there's going to be plenty more out. Like, this is the first... We're entering the Ninja here. Is the first in a trilogy, a loose trilogy of Ninja pictures. The third one of being... Ninja 3, The Exorcism. Yeah. Starring Lucinda Dickey.
And I'm expecting absolute madness from that movie.
But we got to start... I mean, they're not sequential in any ways. They're just like, they made them look sequential with the titles to kind of fool you into watching them. But now, Enter the Ninja, obviously Enter the Dragon is a fucking... I'm sure they were going for that vibe. You know, this was 1981, I believe this movie came out. Like, the thing is, this is our first Menahem Golan movie. And as we explained in the intro, like, we're both huge fans of Menahem, just as a man, just as a force of nature.
Maybe not so much as a director, because he made some turkeys now.
Well, he made the apple and stuff like that, and we'll get to the apple.
Oh,
but no, like, this movie, like, you always see in the documentaries and stuff about Menahem, like, he's always like in the edit suite going, no, stop telling stories, more action, more suspense, more drama, more eroticism, you know. And this opening, like, 10 minutes is him in a nutshell.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's just a fight. It starts out with ninjas fighting in the woods.
And it makes no sense. Because, for, you know, the 5 questions of a story, you know, who, what, when, where, and why, have not been answered in any way. I
legit thought it was set in Connemara. Like, it looks like Connemara, like, where they are.
Yeah.
And
we start off with our white ninja squaring off with our black ninja.
Yeah.
And just cut to the white ninja running away from the black ninja with a bunch of maroon ninjas who just appeared out of nowhere.
And like, there's countless numbers of them as well.
And our white ninja, he dispatches with a few of the maroon ninjas. The black ninja's still chasing him.
Yeah.
More maroon ninjas just appear out of nowhere. There's explosions and shit. There's a bit in it where the white ninja, who when you see the up close, you can see the mustache.
The mustache poking it,
through the ninja mask, and it's like that's why Tom Selleck never made it as a ninja.
Yeah,
it does, the whole point of a ninja mask is it's supposed to cover any discernible feature.
Yeah, and you can just see this, top lip bush hanging out.
This beautiful fucking caterpillar just on your man's lip.
I'll say this though, the fights at the beginning,
I
mean, we don't really know why they're happening. They're fucking cool though.
Yeah.
Like he's massacring dudes with his sword of white ninjas. There's some obvious stuntman action, where there's a bit where the white ninja does a backflip out of a tree, and then there's some bushes in front of where he landed, and then Franco Nero crawls into the camp. It's one of the most obvious stuntman jobs I've ever seen.
And there was some of the typical ninja movie editing where the white ninja, he's he's shooting arrows at the black ninja, and it goes from like a close-up shot of him shooting the arrow to a close-up shot of the black ninja catching the thing. And it was this is...
They had a sword fight in the waterfall though that looked awesome.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And it's just like he runs to a fucking ninja academy.
Yeah.
And I mean, I marked that when I saw that. I was like, what? There's a ninja academy that is pure... And I'm going to get into where I've got a note here that just sums it all up why I love this movie, right? Bows to this guy, cuts his fucking head off.
Yeah.
And then runs into the pagoda or whatever it is, and like fights a bunch of dudes, and then kneels down intensely.
Yeah.
Well, in front of a platform or whatever, and then there's a revelation. But I just wrote a note here: Shinobi.
Yeah.
Like when you think of the video game Shinobi, I'm just going, there's no way this movie wasn't a huge influence on it, because Shinobi was about a Westerner who became a ninja.
That's right.
Joe something.
Joe Masashi, something like that. Joe
Could be Joe Masashi. It was Joe first name.
Yeah.
Japanese second name.
Yeah.
But like I was there going, look at the gear. Look at Revenge of Shinobi, and tell me that this guy, that Franco Nero's character, isn't a heavy influence on the character in Revenge of Shinobi.
Oh hells yes.
It's and again ninjas are fucking dope as fuck always.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's just like I can't help it. I mean, like I'm from the ninja generation. Like, by the time I was like 5, Ninja Turtles were the biggest thing in the world. And,
fuck yeah.
Like ninja movies were everywhere, including this one and American Ninja and all the rest. Like, although this movie is about an American ninja technically, because you got to point out at this point that though Franco Nero, an Italian Haas himself, isn't it?
Yeah, and he does not look American at all. He looks as Italian as you can look.
But he also is overdubbed.
Oh yeah.
And I'll say this: the dub job, the sync up is really good.
In the version we watched, it was fantastic. Yeah.
But it's obviously that it's not.
The scene in the pagoda was interesting to me because when he breaks into the compound, he chops the head off this old guy.
Yeah.
He arrives in, he kneels down looking all somber and stuff. A bunch of ninjas come in. You think, okay, there's going to be another big fight scene here. No, they all kneel down.
Yeah.
And the old guy comes in with the head, with a mock-up of his own severed head.
Yeah,
it's like, fair play, you passed the test.
Yeah.
But there was a bit earlier in the thing where the white ninja, Franco Nero, he pins a guy's hand to a tree with the throwing star, and then throws another throwing star directly into his brain.
Yeah, yeah.
So, this was meant as a training exercise or a test or whatever it was, but he legit killed a guy.
Well, maybe that guy was an arsehole. Maybe it was like, here, look, when you're out training there today, we just killed Pat.
Pat the ninja. Pat the ninja, first with murder.
He's an awful fucking wanker. We just can't, he gets, it was all training. It was a work all along. But, he gets his ninja license, and at this point I thought, oh, I guess he's going to be able to go open up his own ninja school in a strip mall somewhere in America. Because that's surely what you do.
That's what you do, yeah.
Or as you would in Ireland, a shopping centre or an industrial estate.
Yeah.
You know, you can just imagine Cole's Ninja Club, you know, up in
out the Tuam Road with their own Facebook group and stuff like that.
Glen Rock, you know. But at this point, like they all go, "Oh, you're a ninja now," and they have a little party for him, nice little picnic out in the sun.
Yeah,
and well, everybody's happy apart from the black ninja from earlier on.
Yeah,
Hasegawa.
Yeah, or as I'm going to call him now, Dickhead.
Yeah, Hasegawa. Yeah, I've got some comments about him for later on. But Hasegawa's are going, "You are no ninja," and Franco Nero's like, "Yo, man, what's the problem?"
Yeah, I got me license here. I'm certified.
Yeah. He should have broke out his card. Like, was her? This actually says I am.
Yeah, just a laminated little card.
Yeah, with a picture of him with his hood on. And you're like, that could be anybody. You know? And you're going, no, you can clearly see my mustache.
That would be tremendous.
You know,
if we were to remake that today, that scene's in.
Yeah, but anyway, he's talking. Cole, Franco Nero, he's talking to his master, who's there going, "No, you're a good old ninja for a white boy."
Yeah.
You know, he goes, you off to the Philippines, are you? And he's like, "I am, yeah. My mate down there needs a bit of help." So it's a bit of an A-team scenario where he's like this ultimate badass who goes off to help his friend.
This turns into the plot from an A-team movie, because a bunch of shady developers want to run Cole's mate off of his land.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know it, Cole comes in, you know, a one-man fucking wrecking crew.
A one-man Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
That's what he is like. But he goes off to the Philippines. He, instead of just like knocking on his buddy's door, he sneaks in. And understandably, I'm sure the Philippines was probably kind of a dangerous place back then.
Yeah.
Might still be a dangerous place today, but I mean, this is under the Marcos people, right?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, I'm sure it was a bit of a hairy situation. And this mustache fucking disco ninja jumps over the wall. So his buddy's wife, understandably, pulls a fucking shotgun on him.
Yeah.
And she's there going, "Hey, get the fuck out of here." And
checks him for weapons, and he just like grabs her and chucks the thing out.
Here's the bit I have to point out, though.
Yeah.
Franco Nero Han Solos her. Alright.
Yeah.
She has a shotgun in his face and he bats it out of the way and he turns her around, and I'm not kidding, he just fucking paws the tit right off her.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was just like, we gotta, you know, we're wrestling around here, but that was a little bit too convenient there for Franco. He mashed that fucking tit with his hand. Like, you know.
Well, he is Italian.
He is.
Yeah.
And I suppose that makes molestation fine.
Well, it's part of the culture, especially in like the late 70s, early 80s sort of time. You know, I mean,
it was like,
he's a man of his time.
It was just funny to see like that they clearly didn't, you know, work this out.
Oh, of course not.
You know,
well, maybe they did, and he was just having a cheeky paw, anyways. Like,
could be.
Yeah. So, and Menahem just decided, you know what? I approve of cheeky pawing. That's going in the final cut.
Yeah, this is not a film. If you're watching this or listening to this podcast on Tumblr, probably should just not ever listen to it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the thing is, we're a pair of kind of modern men.
Yeah, we're fairly progressive.
We're fairly progressive
young men.
But we also watch this kind of stuff, and we don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously, I have a problem with the idea of someone sexually harassing their co-worker on a film set, but I don't think this is what happened.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, like, obviously we discussed in Bolero, we discussed in other movies, like, you know, where it's like depictions of sexuality and weird parts of humanity and all that. I've no problem with it. I'm not a super sensitive guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not like, oh my god, it doesn't have everything I ever wanted.
This is fiction.
Yeah, it's art. It's weird art about ninjas. And anyway, we're off topic here.
Yeah.
He meets up with his buddy, alcoholic pound shop James Caan.
I was saying pound shop Art Garfunkel.
A little bit of that, but like he had the Jimmy Caan madness in his eyes.
Yeah.
Like, you know? He looked like Jimmy Caan when he was older.
True.
You know, like post rollerball Jimmy Caan.
True.
But it's alcoholic punch up James Caan goes, "Hey man, what's happening?" And he's got this madness in his teeth. Like, can I describe it? Like this, like he's like clenched jaw. He's like fucking what's his name, Baratheon, the brother.
Oh yeah. What's
Stannis.
Stannis.
He's like Stannis, just grinding his teeth all the time, like, you know.
And he's about as useful.
Yeah, he's fucking. Oh god, he's like a spare prick. This guy.
Yeah, he's absolutely useless.
But
I'm the whole time I'm looking at this guy, I'm wondering how the hell did you manage to marry a woman like Susan George?
Yeah.
You know, Susan George, aka Dustin Hoffman's missus in Straw Dogs.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, how did you get a woman this fine? It makes no sense to me.
Well, Jesus, she's having an easy day of it if the worst thing that happens to her is that Franco Nero inadvertently paws her tit if she was in fucking Straw Dogs.
Yeah, I think so.
But, yeah. Anyway, I wrote here passive aggressive dinner disco, which is what happens because like, let's have some dinner, and then like they all sit there and they're just like, yeah, we hate each other. Thanks for coming to visit us, Cole. You know?
Yeah.
And it's one of those like sour, long-term rot-setting couple dinner thing. We've all been there. We've all been a ninja.
Yeah.
When we go to our friend's house and there's just like, you know, a couple there and they're just pecking at each other.
Yeah. And
you're going like, yous two haven't rolled in months, have you?
Yeah, ye haven't been. You know, there's nothing going on here. There's no spark anymore. This is just mold and rot at this point.
But it doesn't matter. Like, they just discuss their troubles. They're saying, like, there's someone trying to squeeze us out of the place. Yeah. And wouldn't you know what? They've got their ninja buddy here to help them. After that, then, Jimmy... Frank was his actual name.
Yeah.
The James Caan guy. He goes, let's go look at the farm. And they go around the farm. And then he's like, let's have a cockfight.
Yeah, first thing.
You know?
It's like, hey, you my employees, you all love me, right? Let's have a cockfight.
Yeah.
And I mean that as an actual cockfight, not like a sword fight or anything.
No.
They just, you know, out come the roosters with the razor blades attached to their legs.
Yeah.
And they just go at it.
Yeah, like an actual cockfight on screen. And you know what? I was kind of watching this. I was there going, oh, I bet those two chickens actually probably did fucking kill each other.
Probably, yeah. And that was the most uncomfortable part of this movie for me, to be honest.
It's like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, cockfighting is a bit of a theme in this movie.
Yeah,
like,
it's a very odd...
I guess cockfighting's a big thing in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, they were just... And your man, James Caan, like, alcoholic, you can smell him, like, you know, he's got that kind of... Where he's just like, here, kill that chicken, kill him, die for me,
die for my amusement.
And yeah, I was there going, oh, I'm supposed to like this guy, who's like just a fucking whiskey dick fucking loser who like has chickens murder each other for his amusement, like, you know. But anyway, after this we get an amazing Chris Chan level kung fu display by Franco Nero, Cole. And it's about this time I think I should bring up the casting of him. Like, Franco Nero, if I'm to describe him, right, he's like a 1970s drive-in disco Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
That's the best way to describe him.
You know, big, huge, tall guy, massive presence. He has the presence of... He does have the presence of a movie star. You can't take that away from him.
He was one. Like,
yeah.
There's no two ways about it. Like, if you're in an English-speaking part of the world, you might necessarily know who he is, but if you're in like Italy or like Europe at all, Franco Nero's a guy.
Absolutely, you know? But he can't do the action that they need him to do for this role.
No,
like, and when they put the stunt double in the white suit and put a tash on him, it's all good.
That's the thing. This movie was originally supposed to star that stunt double.
All right.
I think his name is like Mark Soft or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't get the name. That's how pro we are. But that guy originally he wrote the movie and sat Menahem down and went, "I'll star in this movie. I'll be amazing." And he's a great martial artist, but he can't act for shit. So they were on set in the Philippines, and basically, they shot a few days with this guy, and he was terrible. And Menahem went, "Don't worry about it. I'll get someone else," right? And somehow he finds Franco Nero, who's in the Philippines anyway. He goes, "You want to be a ninja in a movie?" And he goes, "I don't know what that is, but if you're going to pay me, sure." And so the film was already happening, and then they just shuttled Franco in.
Yeah, Canon seem to operate in this world of just jobbing actors. Who will do pretty much anything for a paycheck.
And it's just like, I just think it's awesome the way he's just like, yeah. And I remember seeing the interviews where Franco Nero, he's there going, to be honest with you, I didn't know what a ninja was. I'm still not too sure, but anyway.
Even after making this movie.
Yeah.
And the other two. You'd think he'd have a certain...
Oh, no, he's not in the other two.
Oh, okay, my bad. But you think he'd have, like, a certain idea, you know, like someone would have given him a book about ninja or something?
Why would you even bother?
I suppose so.
You know, all you gotta do is turn up with a cool mustache.
Yeah.
You know, that's...
Pretty much.
But, yeah, like, Franco is doing his Kung Fu display. You need to see this. You know the way... Remember when you were a kid and you had, like, a plastic pair of nunchucks and you were doing, like, a demo in your backyard for yourself, thinking you looked cool?
Yeah, and trying desperately hard not to hit yourself in the balls.
Yeah, this is what you actually looked like. Yeah. You know, in your head, you were like Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
In reality, you're like Franco Nero and Enter the Ninja. And that's
although probably nowhere near as well built as Franco Nero
no,
was.
but, like, I'm not... You've got to see this. Like, the facial expressions... It looks like he's trying to shit out a moon. Like.
Yeah, and there's a bit where he's, like, passing them behind his back.
Yeah.
And he's literally straining to do it.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to scratch an itch on his back.
Yeah, like, I'm nowhere near flexible enough to do this move. Okay, I just managed it. Okay, lovely.
Instead of doing the thing where, you know, you roll it over your shoulder and catch it underneath, he just kind of went, it's on my back, I better reach behind. Anyway, after this, the missus... I can't remember. Marianne.
Yeah.
She goes, "You want to head into town?" I said, "Yeah, sure." Right?
Sound. Whatever stops me making a tool of myself doing this.
Yeah, he's just like, he's probably close to castrating himself.
Probably.
But they go into town, and this is where we meet as one of these Canon crazy characters.
Yeah.
A guy called Dollars.
Mm.
And he's this old American who I'm guessing was over for a war. I don't know what war, but a war.
He was probably out in the shit in Vietnam and just wandered off.
Yeah.
And ended up in Manila.
But, yeah, Dollars is selling porn and crucifixes out of his coat.
Yeah, one side porn, the other side crucifixes. I immediately love this guy.
Yeah, I was like, he's amazing. Like, there's the bit where he just kind of goes, "Hey, you looking for some dirty pictures?" And he's literally just got the line on the inside of his jacket is just pornography.
Yeah.
And then he goes, maybe you're a religious type, and he's got crucifixes. I'm like, my man.
My man.
You know what I mean? Like,
we need more people like that in the real world.
He's there going, there's a market out there for anything, and I'll fucking fill it.
Yeah.
Like, but, Dollars...
I do have to wonder, though, how much of a run do you think he did on crucifixes? Because, like, if you are a seriously religious type, would you buy a crucifix from someone who's selling, like, fucking...
I don't know. I think if you're a serious religious type, you've probably got a big pair of blue balls on you anyway.
Probably,
so you're probably going to go down to him and be just like, "Hey, man, can I have a couple of those nudies in your jacket?" And then once you've came and fallen on your weak knees and bled all over your kitchen
floor. Oh, dear God, why? I'm sorry, Jesus.
I bet they bring the porn back to him. He goes, "Please, take the porn. I will buy a crucifix." He's like, "All right." He puts the porn back in his jacket, sells your man a crucifix that he found somewhere.
Sounds like a great scam this man's working here.
I'll be honest with you, it sounds like a scam I could get in on. I mean, if printed pornography was still the thing, people fucking coveted it.
The ship has sailed on this particular
These
scam.
days, people just like go on Tumblr, look at an image of someone getting a prolapse done or something, and then just go and Google image a picture of Jesus, and they're like reset.
Google stole Dollars' business, is what you're telling me.
Him and the VHS people are all out of business. But we were introduced to our antagonist, I guess, at this point. We're just this like little fat hook hand Colonel Sanders, like running a racket.
Played by Zaki Noy, who was Johnny in Lemon Popsicle. He's a Canon alum. He's in a lot of their movies.
He would be the David character,
yes.
Right? Yeah.
And short, fat little dude with the hook for a hand.
Yeah.
And people like this, they're always in action movies, and I always wonder, how did they get to any level of prominence in a criminal organization? Because this guy is not the least bit intimidating. He's the comic relief of this movie, if anything. How do people like that get to a certain level in a criminal organization? It never makes any sense to me.
Well, we'll meet his boss in a bit.
Yeah.
His Disco Daishiki boss. And I don't know how he became a criminal. You know.
That's true.
But anyway, we go back to the farm, and Hook Hand's boys are beating up the farmers there. And we don't know this at the time, but you know. They just said he's a bad guy. You know it's his friends.
Yeah.
You know. And we get back to the farm. So yeah, basically Cole kicks the living fuck out of them. And at one point, I'm not kidding, throws a blunt piece of wood at a man so hard it penetrates his chest.
Yeah. I was thinking about that. The amount of force you need to do that.
Like, he could throw atoms into Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you don't need to build a massive fucking hyper collider underneath Switzerland. Just get Franco Nero to chuck table legs around the place, and you're good to go.
It's amazing. It's a really good fight scene.
Yeah,
like he kicks the shit out of these dudes, and it's fucking cool.
Although, is this the part where he does the donkey kick?
No, that's later.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
But like he fucks everybody up, and they're all like battered. Some of them may be dead. There's a lot of neck breaking sounds.
Yeah.
But then again, he's never like the cops never turn up. Now I understand, though, right? Back then in that time, right, the Philippines, it looks kind of dodgy, the area. So maybe the police weren't all that up on the thing. But I'm pretty sure if some dude came in from Japan and started murdering like at least 20% of the population of the city you're in, the police are at least going to come asking for a bribe.
Yeah,
you know. But
it's like, hey, we've heard you're up to stuff here. You know, throwing table legs into a man's chest. That's against the law around here.
As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you're the only person who could do that around here.
Actually, there isn't an ordinance against it because we never knew it was physically possible.
Yeah.
But we're writing one right now.
It is technically murder, though, and I'm pretty sure that they didn't like murder in the Philippines, like, you know.
Although you probably get off just from the jury not believing such a thing as humanly possible.
But like he clearly fell off a cliff onto that thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, he fucks them up, and like then they're just like, oh yeah, this crowd are trying to run us out of our farm. Obviously, go back to that, and then we meet the big boss, venereal disease.
Yeah.
Sorry, venereous.
Venereous.
That has to be a joke.
Yeah,
like, that has to be a VD.
I kept calling him Vespasian for some reason.
Okay.
You know, after the Roman emperor. It's like, I don't know why, but he has the look of he has the look of like a really slimy sort of a bit of a, like, you know, Peter Lovey kind of character.
Yeah, he looks like Lionel Blair.
Yes,
that's who he kind of looks like.
Yeah, that I got a serious vibe of that, and with the bit of George, not George Kennedy. Well, what's the dude? You know the brown. You know, the dude who's like really brown and he's got the mole on his face.
George Lazenby. No, the guy, the Dracula guy.
George Hamilton.
George Hamilton, yes.
Yeah, he does have a look of George Hamilton about him.
Yeah, yeah.
Which kind of fits the character.
A bit of Love Boat look to him.
Yeah, it kind of fits the character because he's like, you know, some rich developer dude. You know, he's, you know, very prim, proper, bit of a dandy sort of guy. And he just has, and he obviously just hired a bunch of henchmen to do all of his shit for him.
I think he got into the scumbag business and went, henchmen, that's what I need next.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's like going, I want all this shit, and you know, he's there going, we need more men, let's go get more men.
Yeah, there was a really nice thing. At least I thought it was kind of cool when the Hook when he goes to see the big boss.
Yeah.
He tries talking to him directly.
Oh yeah, and the guy keeps on slapping him in the face for talking to the boss.
Yeah, Vespasian's fucking what's his name again? Venerius's underling Parker just smacks him around the place every time he directly addresses Venerius.
Yeah.
And Venerius addresses Parker. You know, it's sort of like, you know, when two girls fall out. It's like, I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
And if
you tell her that she's ugly,
you tell her that I gave her brother a hand job down the bus shelter.
Yeah,
you know that
clearly this scenario is cooked up as setting balance slow.
but we're you know it exactly, it belongs to like two 14-year-old girls in Ireland. It doesn't belong to a fucking Manila crime boss. You know it.
Well, who you know. It is what it is. Well, maybe 20 by 20 ring.
You know, maybe I don't know much about Filipino culture. Maybe all the gangsters there are just a bunch of bitches. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Look, who knows?
Who knows?
You know, it's
I'll chalk this one up to cultural ignorance and move on.
Well, anyway, we get a flashback then, not an Am flashback, but it might as well be to the two boys, Cole and Frank.
They're fighting somewhere in Africa.
Yeah,
that looks amazingly like the Filipino forest.
Oh, we're gonna come back to that later on.
Yeah,
but they're fighting in a war in Africa somewhere, and so we were like, okay, they were friends once.
Yeah,
and apparently, Frank was something. He was able to actually be a man.
Yeah,
but they have a flashback, and I was like, when I read this, where I was watching it, I was there going like, was this like cliche in the 80s, or did the 80s make this a cliche?
How do you mean?
The Nam War, like, hey buddy, I don't leave a good man behind.
I think the 80s kind of made it a cliche, because, you know.
But did it feel cliche, do you think, at the time, to people like, the other one, you know?
I don't think it probably didn't at the time, because, like, First Blood came out in what, like, 80, 81 sort of time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And, you know, around the same time as this movie. And that was one of the first ones that really used, like, the veteran coming back as a badass.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Well, that would have been the time, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was the time. You know, it was the time. And it was only, you know, because the 70s were full of movies about, like, veterans returning home and losing their shit.
Yeah, the 80s were.
And the 80s were a bit more fucking optimistic and fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So the 80s definitely made that. That didn't make the 80s. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, like, after this, after the flashback, Cole's farm workers, who've been scared off previously by the beating they got, come back.
Yeah,
and,
apropos of nothing.
And Frank goes, yeah, man, let's have a fucking cockfight.
Yeah.
You know?
First reaction.
Yeah.
First reactions. Like, not like, well, we better, you know, a lot of shit needs to be done on the farm. You haven't been working the last few days. It's like, no, let's kill some fucking roosters.
And the thing is, and they're going, did they just, like, did the people in the Philippines just have a constant supply of ready to go fucking roosters?
Like, I think so.
It's, like, that's what I'm getting from this.
You know, Dollar's missing a trick. He should just train fighting roosters.
He should be selling fucking eggs.
Yeah.
You know? And, anyway, they have what you call a hooky turns up again. A hooky turns up as they're going, motherfucker, you can't be doing this. We told you to get out. And so they have they get one of the guys and start dragging him around the place in the back of the car.
Yeah.
They're fucking everybody up. And, like, they didn't learn, basically, because Cole turns up again and beats the living piss out of them all.
Yeah.
And again, it's a pretty fucking badass action sequence. Like, there's a bit where he chases after a moving van and kicks the fucking driver out
on a horse.
Yeah.
And he just, like, latches on. He does the stagecoach job, you know. He jumps from the back of the horse onto the thing, climbs on, kicks your man in the face, stops the car. It's fucking badass, that bit. It probably didn't help your man at all. He was probably already dead.
Yeah.
But
and then he gets out and killed. I mean, at this point I wrote, Cole is white dynamite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Black Dynamite has the same superpowers as Cole does.
Pretty much. Well,
and the same wardrobe.
Yeah.
But
I was watching that and I was thinking, okay, the dude who just got trailed along.
Yeah.
You know, he was like the leader of the workers. You know, he was the first guy that Frank introduced Cole to on the plantation.
Yeah.
I think his name was what was it again? Like Lopez or something like that. And it doesn't even check to see if he's alive or dead.
No.
I was like, okay, you've already established this character, and if he actually is dead, it might, you know, raise the stakes a little bit. May, you know, put a bit of heat on the bad guys, heighten the drama, and they just don't do it.
No, why not?
They don't. I don't think they even check on them.
No, I think it was a case of where Menahem was there going, I know men will be watching this and they don't care about people who die. You know what I mean? Like,
but like, you know, just like a 30 seconds of Frank standing over him like, you bastards. You know, what
too much.
You know, more action, more drama. You know, more.
No
action.
time for this shit.
Yeah.
You know, after this, like, Venarius goes and hires a disco militia. And,
there's a bit in this scene as well. Preacher. Yeah. Do you not remember this guy?
Oh God, yeah, the guy.
Yeah.
The guy that, like, I don't know. He's
it's, you know, everyone.
Filipino Peter Sutcliffe.
Yeah, pretty much. He was you know, Venarius says to all these guys, it's like, you know, we need 10 guys. You'll be working for this guy, pointing to the hook.
Yeah.
And, you know, are you willing to work for this man? And one of them steps up and goes, I think he looks like a fat piece of shit. What's your name? Preacher. You're a preacher, eh? Today's sermon is, do whatever the man says.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. You think he looks like a fat piece of shit? Go kill him then. And then I'm expecting Preacher to be a fucking badass at this point. I'm expecting him to be like an underling bad guy, you know, of some
bad luck fella.
Yeah, like a you know, like a good underneath hand. That's what I'm expecting him to be at this point. And he goes over, and I'm expecting him to do something fucking awesome to kill this guy, and he just goes, kneel down.
Yeah,
it's like, no. I'm not going. Your man, and the hook just goes, no, I'm not going to kneel down. I'm not going to just let you kill me.
He sticks his hook in his balls.
Yeah, he sticks his hook in his balls, which is the only sane reaction at that point.
Yeah.
And your man, he's away selling the nut shot, and you know, that's the last we see of him as a substantial character in the film.
Yeah,
it's like, why did you even have that bit? It makes no sense.
Another fight scene, because at the end of that, they all end up fighting.
Yeah, but you could have done that anyways. You didn't need to have Preacher's bit where he jobs out to the fucking fat comedy underling. Yeah. You know, it's
anyway. After this, we're in the bar with Cole and Frank.
Yeah,
and Cole, like, I was like, what? Like, you know, he just goes like, well, Frank is having a drink, and he's, you know, he's being all morose, and he just goes, I never knew my dad, and I have daddy issues, and he just throws daddy issues at you out of nowhere, and then he just goes, my missus constantly wants to ride, and I can't get it up anymore. Yeah. And I was going, whoa, too much information, man. You know?
I immediately just thought, okay, Franco Nero is a fucking Italian. You tell him that, he's going to shag your wife.
He gets fucking sniper vision at that moment in time.
Yeah.
You can just tell he goes, he hasn't rode his wife in a while. Well, I've got a penis. You know?
And she is Susan George. So let's see what plays out.
I was there going, no. He's not going to have sex. And then, like, the next scene.
Yeah.
Franco Nero's in bed, you know, reading his own chest hair. And, you know, and, like, Susan George comes in and he just goes, yeah, well, I was expecting you.
Yeah.
Just fucking...
Can't say I didn't see this coming.
No, we don't, like, and I wouldn't mind though, this actually made the film a lot more interesting than this. Like, this could be, like, a boring dialogue scene, but, like, after, like, they have sex, because clearly she's been into him and he's been into her.
Yeah.
But, next day at breakfast, they're just sitting there, and old drunk Jimmy Cannon, Frank is there going, "What's the matter with you, Gene? Sorry, no, what's the matter with you, Marianne? You're tired, not getting enough sleep last night." And you're going, does he know that they fucked?
And it's very possible he does.
You know, and the other two are just guilty.
Yeah, like, and she just cuts him off like, you know, you must love the sound of your own voice.
Yeah,
because I know I don't.
Yeah,
and I was like, wow, this is, you know, Franco Nero is he's doing his best to stay quiet. It's sort of like, this is the weirdest fucking analogy. It's the weirdest comparison I'm gonna draw. You know that scene in Breaking Bad where Jesse comes over for dinner?
Don't watch Breaking Bad.
Right. Never mind. But
go on, explain it to the Mizarks. They probably know.
The two of them are just sniping there. And Jesse's in the middle, like, okay, I'm just going to keep eating and, you know, shut me fucking mouth. Franco Nero, Cole, no sells this. You know, he's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm just having me toast.
Yeah, I'm a ninja.
Yeah, I'm a ninja. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, basically, they're guilty and all that. And Venarius is like, we come back to Venarius. He's there going, are you telling me this guy fucked up everybody again?
Yeah.
I want my own ninja. Go get me one. So his buddy, Parker, goes to a fucking talent agency in Japan and is there going, I need a ninja. And the guy's like, an actor?
Yeah.
A dancer? A hooker? I don't, we don't have ninjas. Like, you know.
I need a professional ninja.
Yeah, an assassin. Yeah. And the guy went, well, look, I mean, I'll see what I can do. And wouldn't you know it, he comes through.
Yeah.
He finds Hasegawa from earlier on, the black ninja.
Yeah, Parker arrives to Cole's old master, and Cole's master asks him, so this will be for good, yes?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, we've been having loads of problems with violence in our small town.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, violence you're causing, you douche.
Fucking, here's the thing though, Hasegawa, clearly not worried about the moral...
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. I have to ask, does he know that Cole is the guy?
Well, look, maybe, okay, but I get they're talking about honor and all this kind of stuff, right? And I'm not kidding. In a few minutes' time, like they hire him to do an honorable job, and in a few minutes' time, he's literally cannibal holocausting a village full of innocent people. Like,
yeah, that was a devastating cutaway. Just the cutaway of it made me laugh my ass off, because there was a bit later on where Vesperian is talking to his underlings, like, you know, what about our ninja? He's doing what ninjas do. Yeah. And it cuts to him literally cannibal holocausting. That was the first thing that came into my mind. He was setting fire to the fucking plantation.
And like attacking women and children. Like,
yeah.
Like a true honourable ninja would.
Yeah, and chances are he's like fucking cutting them up and feeding them to monkeys or something. You know, it's like
all the wild people are still attacking Cole, and at this point I was there going, why do they all look like they should be in like mud or the Rubettes or you know what I mean? Like they look like 70s Top of the Pop acts. Like, you know.
Oh, at this point, Cole has broken into Vesperian's building.
Well, this is afterwards. After he gets attacked by one guy, he breaks into the building. Yeah, you're right. And he watches a fucking ninja snuff movie.
Yeah. But here's the brilliant part. When they're getting in, he sends in Dollar first. Dollar is with them for some reason.
Yeah, because he's hanging out. He's a bro.
Yeah, because why not? There's always that guy who's like a shady little fucker who joins the hero in these movies.
Yeah.
But he just goes up to the guards and is like, "You like this porn, huh?"
Yeah.
And the two guys are like, "Yeah, I kind of do. Let's go in and talk about some pornography."
I like to think he's going, how about this? And the two go, oh Jesus, we're both hard right now. You know? But my penis is just full of blood.
Yeah, I don't know who you are. I shouldn't let you in, but you do have pictures of naked ladies, and I like that.
Do you do blowjobs as well? But they go.
They got any uppers?
Yeah, fucking poppers. I like to finger a loose arsehole. I remember being at a heavy metal festival once, and me and my friend Liam, who listens to this show, and did a really cool piece of music for it that we should feature at some point.
Yeah, we really should.
And what was it? We were at this thing, and this guy came up to our tent, and he was there going, "Do you want to buy some poppers?" And I remember just kind of looking at Liam and thinking, do we look like we're going to fuck anytime soon? You know what I mean? Like,
well, you never know. You never know.
I know, but like...
Well, in the metal community, it's very fucking hard to tell who's gay and who isn't.
I don't know. I'm just pretty sure that me and Liam probably looked like we were... Like, we weren't dressed up for each other, is what I'm saying.
No,
right? If I was going to fuck you, Liam, right, if you're listening, right, I at least think we would both shave beforehand and have a shower... and maybe wear our nice t-shirts.
Yeah.
Not be sitting in our own filth in a tent next to a big fat snoring cunt, drinking fucking Vimto and eating fucking, vendor burgers. With the stench of stale piss in the air.
Yeah.
That's not... If I'm ever going to have sex with you, man, it ain't going to be like that. Okay? Just let you know.
It's just a declaration for the world there.
I think more of them. I'll be honest with you. I think more of them. But...
That was a weird aside.
Yeah, anyway, they go in, they infiltrate the building, and they find like a Hasegawa snuff movie that they've been filming.
Yeah, from multiple angles. This is like the best shot snuff movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say I've ever seen.
It's
but...
like he's sizzle reel, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Hasegawa, we are dynamite.
Yeah, back in the what you call it? Back at the farm. Hasegawa is terrorizing everybody.
Yeah.
Like he is murdering people without, like, he's just a terrorist. That's the best way to describe it. Like, he is in the Ra. Alright, he's got like the hood on, the black hood, and he's running around bombing people.
Yeah, he's like one of those South American death squads, only one guy.
Yeah, he's like just massacring, and then like he kills Frank and crucifies Marianne.
Yeah, he like draws a little red line on Frank's neck with the fucking sword, and he's got her hanging up there for some reason.
Yeah, it's like when Undertaker sacrificed Stephanie to himself,
to the Hauer power,
to Vince.
Yeah,
but he's just he crucifies her, and basically this is just there's another flashback to Africa, and I'm not kidding. They're sitting outside the huts in the plantation.
Yeah.
They use the same huts for the plantation scenes in Manila.
Yeah, just shot from a different angle.
Yeah, they just shot from a different angle. Africa.
Yeah.
You know,
and this is Menahem all over, because, like, you know, it's from a different angle. They will not know.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Just go.
It's a movie. It's a movie.
But
that's how I imagine him talking the whole time. It's a movie. It's a movie. It'll be fine.
That's the way he did kind of talk. They don't know. But what you call it? At this point we're like, yeah, it's on. You know, it's clearly at this point we're coming to a crescendo where it's like, you know, Venarius has pushed Franco as far as he's going to go, and they're going to have a fight between him and Hasegawa. This has been building since the beginning.
Oh, hell's yeah.
You know, and so basically Franco Nero, Cole, he finds his dead buddy and he's all sad about it, and then he does like some weird sign language that's important to being a ninja.
Yeah,
but
it's all about like the different levels of ninja power or something.
And it's something to do with like not having arthritis.
Yeah.
It basically, you know, when like in your school and girls had those little paper
like which man am I going to marry kind of deal. Yeah.
My mother is very nice thing. Yeah. Oh, here you go, blue. You get blue. You're gay. That was That was basically how that worked back in the day, and don't ask me why, alright? Yeah. But it was like he was doing that with his hands, but he didn't have the paper bit underneath. In fact, if I was a video editor type of guy, I would have him doing that with the paper thing, like, you know. And anyway, it's he goes to fight him. He goes to the top of the building where he was earlier on to go kill Venarius and this ninja. But what you call it? He goes to...
He wasn't a ginger man.
fuck off! Right? I should go to Tumblr with that shit. Right?
Ninja, okay.
But
I'm sure if it's on it exists on the internet. I'm sure of it.
But anyway, he goes to the building, and your man's buddy goes, "Don't worry about it, man. I was expecting you. We gotta go." So he takes a lift in his ninja gear. It was one of the funniest things in this movie. He's just there riding in the back of the car with his ninja hood on.
What would have made this movie for me? What would have put it really over the top? Would have been if they just did a prolonged scene of him just standing around in the lift with like fucking Girl from Ipanema playing Muzak style. Yeah, that would have.
Or if he had went, "I'm not taking a lift from you. I'll get the fucking train." You know, he's just sitting there with his bow and arrows and his swords all over.
Yeah.
But he goes to and wouldn't you know, the ultimate celebration of this movie, Venarius has Marianne. He's got her kidnapped, and where would he bring her to? A fucking cockfighting arena. Yeah. And you're going, wait a minute, there was cockfighting arenas in the Philippines? Yeah. Like
surely any, you know, like a corner of a scrapyard would do.
Yeah, no, they had like an actual like UFC for cockfighting set up, like. And it was nuts. But
I think it's one of those things where, like, in the Philippines and Thailand, they have those restaurants where they just have fights in the middle of it.
Yeah,
and that's the entertainment. I think it was one of those places, like sort of like human cockfighting. I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah,
I'm not entirely sure.
It was fucking bizarre.
Yeah,
and anyway, Venarius is in there with all these boys, and they're like, "Come on, Ninja! I know you're here." Even though they give him a lift, of course they know he's here.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Your man Parker goes out to pick him up, and Cole's just killed everybody who drove him there. Probably killed a few people who were just passing by.
Yeah,
but
why the fuck not? Actually, when he broke into your man's apartment the first time, your man comes back and he finds about like 12 guys lined, just piled up in one lift.
Yeah.
He walks to get the next lift, and there's about another 5 or 6, and it's like, so chances are he killed those like 10 or those like 24 guys, just to inconvenience him, so he'd have to take the stairs.
Yeah. Which
is like the biggest dick move in all of history.
Either that, or you get the hooks out and pull the boys out and take the lift. Like,
yeah.
Look, who knows? Who knows the ways of the ninja?
Yeah, clearly not us.
But
or Menahem Golan.
Yeah. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Yeah. So then, Cole basically firebombs the fucking the cockfighting arena.
Yeah.
All right, and he kills everybody. There's like an army of dudes. He kills them all. One of whom was a black guy with a Hitler mustache.
Yeah.
Made my life.
And you know who was beside him?
Who's that?
Preacher from earlier.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a thing, actually. Yeah. This movie isn't about an American ninja.
Yeah.
Okay? Apparently, Michael fucking Dudikoff was one of the heavies in this movie.
Really?
I didn't know. I read it earlier on.
I didn't spot him.
Neither did I.
Was he in the ninja getup?
No, he was like one of the disco guys.
Oh, right.
But yeah, apparently.
Oh, that's fucking mental.
This is where he kind of got his foot in the door with
nice
Canon.
Nice
one. Much like Van Damme in Breaking.
That's true. But no, the preacher scene again. This just leads me to. This is just like a little fucking. He's got 2 scenes and he's completely useless in both of them.
Yeah.
Because like. The 2 guys, they've got their guns out in their hands. Cole is right in front of them, swinging his size about the place.
Yeah.
Just fucking shoot him.
No, I understand.
And it's like, what the hell is this? Maybe it's the ninja who's attacking the goddamn building.
Yeah.
And he just like chucks the 2 size into their stomachs and they just fall down and die.
Yeah.
It's like
Hitler mustache and the dude though.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And like Hitler, Hitler mustache and Preacher. Well, Preacher especially is the most useless fucking character we've encountered.
The only thing he's got is a cool name.
Yeah.
He's got nothing else.
Yeah. And, Garth Ennis did that right about 20 years later. But,
you know what I mean? Like, that is just, like, that's madness.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
But,
like, what was your role in this movie, you fucking dickhead?
Yeah, well, anyway, he kills everybody, Cole does, and he finally gets to Venarius. And at this point, I was like, I've seen this scene before. I've seen this a million times. If you remember when YouTube first started up, right, there was all these terrible acting compilations, one of which famously had, like, the Troll 2 scene, They're eating her! They're eating me! Oh my god! But, yeah. But that, like, but this death scene was in here.
Yeah.
Because Venarius is like, come on, I'll hire you to be my ninja, I guess, or something. Although, like, his fucking ninja Hasegawa was useless because, I mean, he didn't save anybody. You know?
His role wasn't really a defensive one. He was like a one-man killing spree.
Yeah.
No more than Cole, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, anyway, fucking Cole, he's there going, come on, brother, I'll fucking hook you up. And Cole just goes, actually, no, I'm going to chuck a ninja star into your face. But
yeah, and there's a brilliant bit. He does the usual sort of
and then goes, oh.
Yeah, he just shrugs as he's going down.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's ridiculous.
He looks at the star, looks at the camera, and just comedy shrugs.
Yeah,
it's
as if he's saying, fuck it, I got a payday.
Yeah.
And just goes over.
Like, the fact that Menahem went, that's the take.
That's the take. It's like, it's a movie. It's a movie. Yeah. They'll understand. And
it's fucking hilarious. Like, this is complete like campy shit. Like
it's all over the shop. But here's where it gets good for me at least. You know, here's the best part of the movie. The final showdown between Cole and Hasegawa.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Fucking awesome. Like, the thing, although I will say at the beginning, when they're just about to fight, the sign language thing that's kind of coming into it, and they look, I just wrote down, are they having a fucking sign language psychic battle? Because it's just the two of them staring at each other.
Yeah, I was expecting them to start going, yeah.
It was like that bit in Big Trouble in Little China where Egg Shen and fucking Dave Lopan have that fight with the crystals and stuff.
Yeah.
But with no special effects. They were just staring at each other, like, you know.
Oh, it's mind games. Mind games.
But it was, this was kind of like Papa Shango and the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
You know, but...
then it kicks off, and you know full well Franco Nero is not in that suit.
Oh, God,
It's Mark Soft and Hasegawa Kazugi, who is a martial arts master. And the two of them are just going at it, and it looks amazing.
They're in the cockfighting pit.
Yeah.
And it's fucking rad.
Yeah,
like,
it looks phenomenal.
There is a bit, though, where Cole's character, Franco Nero, Mark, whatever his name is, right? His sword gets thrown out out into the stands.
Yeah.
And then a few seconds later, after a few cuts, he's got it back in his hand.
Yeah, it just arrived somewhere in the middle of the ring again.
Yeah.
And there was another bit in it that kind of took me out of it. Even though I love this fight scene, it kind of took me out of it. Where Cole was just, you know, he was flipping about the place, and he jumped up on top of the barrier of the thing, and he just does a backflip off for no fucking reason.
It's like Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, it looks amazing. Don't get me wrong, but you're thinking, when it comes to like two dudes fighting with swords, I'm used to like Kurosawa, you know, where it's like a bit of, oh shit, he nearly hit me there, you know.
Yeah.
And there's none of that. It's just sort of like flip, chuck some shit at him, throw a kick, and
but like what's cool is they're all tooled up. Like they've got tons of ninja weapons on them, and they use them all.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're watching this as a kid, you'd hope like I really hope he uses that weird staff thing. No, he does. They use them all. Like it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And no, really good fight. Like, and this movie's all action, but like for a great movie, a great action movie, the final fight has to be the biggest and baddest.
Yeah.
I remember watching a movie, watching the commentary for Blade 2. Guillermo del Toro was talking, he's like, I loved Blade 1, but the problem was the first action scene was the best action scene in the whole movie. And it is like that nightclub thing. Yeah. Phenomenal.
Oh, right? I love that scene.
But this, like he said, like he wanted Blade 2, all the fight scenes build to the last one, and I agree with him on that. Like you know, all the raid movies, like they build, like Commando builds, like and this builds to this fight, and it pays off. Yeah, like I was looking at this like again from a childish perspective, and I know these movies are made for adults, but they're like 18 rated and stuff like. Yeah, but. When are you going to watch these movies? When you're a fucking kid.
Yeah, you're not watching these when you don't like fill out a mortgage application, then go home and watch Enter the Ninja.
No.
It doesn't happen.
But like what I'm saying is, it worked. Like it paid off, and I was like, if I watched this when I was a kid, I would have thought it was fucking rad. Yeah. Now I watched it as an adult, and I thought it was fucking rad.
Yeah.
But
and you're absolutely right in that regard. It's great because it does build up, and it is the best action scene in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, like anyway, Cole wins as you'd expect, and he beheads Hasegawa.
Yeah, Hasegawa Cole flips him over and manages to stick him with a knife mid monkey flip
in the guts,
which is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
and Hasegawa, he knows he's beat, so he just takes off the mask. Yeah. Cole takes off the mask, and Hasegawa goes, "You have won with honor. Now let me die with honor."
Yeah,
and your man, apparently that means cut me head off.
Yeah,
and that's what he does.
Yeah,
and just lops his head off, and that's it. You know, there's your blow off.
Yeah, no, that's essentially the end of the movie. There. Yeah, I'll say this, right? This is a big, loud, bombastic '80s action film.
Yeah,
the exact opposite for what a depiction of an actual ninja should probably be.
Yes.
I was there going, I think Menahem just looked at a picture of a ninja and went, they look fucking cool, and put them on in a movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if you were to, like, in reality, if you were to describe a ninja, it'd be more sort of like the bank robbery scene from Rafifi or something.
Yeah, it's
you know,
silent
just
assassin.
silent. Yeah. And
in this it's just like, no, let's make as much noise as possible.
Let's chuck around fire bombs, let's burn down plantations, behead dudes. Yeah, I can't imagine that either Cole or Hasegawa would have got much work as stealth assassins at all.
This movie is nuts.
Yeah.
It's really competently put together though. I mean, like look, I'm taking it at its age though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like if
you can't judge this by today's standards or even the standards like 15 years ago.
No, it's 80s, early 80s. Like this is like some of it will look kind of hokey to a younger viewer, but I mean, I grew up watching this kind of shit on VHS. I'm good, you know what I mean. And
honestly, you know, looking at it now, it is kind of hokey, but it was hokey in a charming kind of way.
Yeah, and
you know?
I don't care. If you're asking me, this movie's still cool.
Like there was a scene early on in the movie. I'm sorry, we flipped over it.
Yeah.
When Hasegawa was breaking into the plantation.
Yeah.
And it showed that he had like a bunch of spikes on the palm of his hand.
Yeah.
And he just climbs over where one of the guards is.
Yeah.
And the next scene you see is just him pressing his hand down your man's head.
Yeah.
And stage blood coming out. And your man sells it like... Your man sells it like, oh my god, I've such a headache.
Yeah.
And just falls over. And there's a bunch of that selling going on.
Yeah.
Like when Cole throws some caltrops in a guy's face and it cuts to your man with them stuck in his face like, ah.
Well, the problem is, like, when discussing a movie like this is that it's easier to discuss the story than the action.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple of fights we may have glossed over, but we wanted to get to the main beats of it, and we talked about the major points of it. Like, there's a lot of cool moments like that. But,
I was just talking about the hokey shit.
I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of cool moments like that, but at the same time, like, it's kind of hard to remember them all.
Yeah, that is true, because there is a lot of murder in this movie.
Oh, yeah. But, no, I'll say this, like, final word on this movie. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a great film, alright?
No.
Like, The Raid and The Raid 2. Those are great action movies.
Yeah.
Die Hard, phenomenal action movie. Like, you know, Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Fucking, like, you know, countless movies like
Yeah.
that, right? That are just pure, like the Avengers. Like, you know what I mean? These are great, great action movies. This isn't on that level at all.
Oh, God, no.
However, it's not boring.
Yeah.
It's fairly well put together. It's fun. And that's all you can really ask for it, like, you know.
If I had to give it a description, I would say it's very dated.
Very dated.
Kind of hokey, but in a good way. And like you said, it carries on at a fair clip.
Yeah.
There's no lull in the action. There's no boring aspects to it.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch, but don't expect it to change your life.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, again, we love Menahem on this show, but it is a Menahem Golan movie.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
Menahem was not, you know... Menahem was never going to win an Oscar.
No, he's not like Joss Whedon or fucking, you know, John Woo or anyone like that.
But, like, still, I like all action movies. Same like horror movies. I like them all, you know, in some weird way. And I'll sit there and watch an action movie or a horror movie. Like, put it this way, right? I'd rather watch a Menahem Golan ninja film than I would watch any Lars von Trier movie.
Oh, fuck yes.
And that's the distinction I'm making. And if the camp, it's either Dogma 95 or Canon, I'm a Canon man till the day I die. All right?
Same here. I would watch the entirety of Canon before I'd watch The Idiots any day of the week.
I mean, like, yeah. Anyway, we should probably start hyping up our next movie.
Yeah. And this is an interesting one. We discover.
Can I just say, I was introduced to this movie last night.
Yeah, by me.
By Sean.
Yeah.
And
I'd heard about this movie.
I saw the trailer and I was like, "Yes, we're doing this."
We're going through a list of Canon movies. We don't do these in any particular order. We just pick them out at random. It's like, this will be interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do this one. And I had read about this a couple of years ago in an interview with Christopher Walken, he mentioned this movie that he did with Canon, and he said he had a great time doing it, and I just thought, oh, okay, and I saw it in the list, and it's like, that can't be the same movie. I checked it out, it is. Tell them what it is there, John.
It's Canon Movie Tales presents Christopher Walken's as Puss in Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
Here's the trailer.
Once upon a time, there lived a poor peasant boy with nothing to his name but a clever little cat and a magical pair of boots. Academy Award winner Christopher Walken stars as the enchanting Puss in Boots.
These boots will change our lives, Master. We'll never want for anything again.
When his master falls for a beautiful princess, Puss will do anything to bring the boy his true love.
Gift of my most noble master, the illustrious Marquis of Carabas.
Who is the Marquis of Carabas? Who is he? And why don't we know the name?
When they find out who we are, they're going to throw us both in the dungeon.
If it is not all exactly as I've heard, you will...
Now, for the first time on screen, the magical, musical story of a shy boy.
Dance.
No.
A bold princess.
You got to stick your neck out now and then.
A terrible ogre.
I can become whatever I like.
And a very clever cat. Christopher Walken and Jason Connery star in Puss in Boots.
Okay, look, I know you didn't see that. Yeah. You were listening to it, but trust me, go watch it. Like, my brain was just screaming with happiness when I saw it.
I was
same here. Like, oh my god, I need to watch this movie. Like, unfortunately, we're recording these ahead of time, so it'll be a couple of weeks before I actually get to sit down and watch it. But that's going to be a good day.
I can feel it in my bones. That's going to be fun.
It looks fucking crazy. I genuinely can't wait. It's like a fantasy fairy tale musical.
Yeah, apparently it's a kids movie, which is, it's one of the few genres. It's one of the genres that Canon didn't hit all that often.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this a lot, because this could either be a great movie or it could be an absolute shambles. I'm not entirely sure, but either way,
that, like,
it's going to be
Christopher
fun.
Walken, like a walking, excuse the pun, a walking madman.
Yeah,
like goes, no, this is the best movie I was ever in.
And not only that, but like a major star.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I'm just like I'm so in. I'm all the way. In. You know what I mean? Like I really hope you're looking forward to hearing what we got to say about it as much as we're looking forward to listen to it. Just on the way out, I'd like to offer a couple of reminders. I'm sorry, Liam. I'm not sorry for saying I'd fuck you, but I'm only kidding. But I'm sorry we didn't mention your track you created as a tribute to this podcast before. If you want to go into SoundCloud and search for "It's Time" by Liam Kavanagh, you'll find the track. It's like pretty rad, like 80s synth style music. Kind of the music that was kind of missing from Invasion USA.
It really was. I was, as soon as I heard it, I was thinking, that's fucking rad, and that should be, if I ever were to make like an homage to that genre of movie, that tune would be in it.
It was really cool, and thanks for that. And everybody check it out if you can. If you want to stay up to date with us, you can now like our Facebook page. It's facebook.com/the Canon. Obviously, two different spellings of Canon.
Yeah, there's a picture of me on a horse with Bo Derek.
Yeah, that's our. We're gonna try and keep everybody up to date. We'll add some new kind of gimmicks on there.
Oh yeah.
Some fun Photoshop stuff, and it'll be worth it to stay up on what we're a fun bunch of guys.
Yeah.
And we're going to post on there more often once we're up and running. But
and any questions, comments, death threats, the whole lot. Just let us know.
Best place to go for it. On top of that, you can obviously keep track of the show on jointmediaball.com, which is our host thing. And if you want to subscribe, obviously, subscribe through the Giant Media Ball
please
feed.
do. There's some awesome shows on
Oh yeah,
Giant Media
like
Ball.
there's the Club Kayfabe family of shows. There's our good brothers Richie and Spud on It's Starting Now, and then there's my other shows. The other shows I appear on, should I say, the We Talk Games family of shows.
Wiggly's about to throw you the fuck off that show.
Hey,
it's your show, is it?
Good luck finding someone to replace me. But who else is going to do Chris Benoit jokes?
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
But no, it's those shows I honestly believe are all well worth checking out. And there's going to be some new original stuff going up there. Myself and Calvo and Kubrick we're gonna get together and do maybe a one-off, or maybe we might do more about like cartoons in the 90s and stuff. So
nice one.
It'll be, because we always end up talking about fucking Captain Planet or whatever. So we try to sit down and talk about War and Peace or Crime and Punishment.
And it turns into gargoyles halfway
You're
through.
just like, oh man, remember fucking Denver Last Night's Work or Rocco's Modern Life. So we're just we're gonna get that out of our system. And, so also purefiller.com, you can check us out there. Scott throws up our episodes whenever we have them, and that's awesome. I really like that website. And that's basically it. I mean, I'm Johnny Capcom on Twitter, and you are Robothead Sean on Twitter.
Yeah.
And you can follow us there. I don't know, like we'd probably just like favorite pictures of tits and stuff. Like, you know,
pretty much.
I mean, that's all we do. Like,
yeah,
you know, we're just fucking men.
I haven't done it in a while, but you know that Tits Tuesday hashtag?
Yeah.
I follow that like a madman.
Why wouldn't you?
Why would you not?
But anyway, we've got all that kind of going there. We really hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a fun film to watch and talk about, as it always is.
Yeah.
To sit down and do one of these. And we'll hope you'll join us in 2 weeks for Puss in Boots. Well, hopefully 2 weeks. We're trying to get our microphones situation sorted for good.
Oh, we will do. Don't worry.
And,
we will.
Hopefully we'll be back for Puss in Boots on time, because I think this one will be a fucking doozy.
Oh, I can feel it in me water.
And anyway, I hope you had fun listening to this, and we hope you'll join us again. So goodbye.
Bye.